Thanks for staying with me. Last week we spoke with Liliana Radbeer of Pepper Advertising about social media and its impact on business here in Trinidad and Tobago. This week the discussion continues. Does social media really impact a business's bottom line? Let's find out now. We hear many stories of the gaffes that occur on Facebook and Twitter and general social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, how does a company really deal with social media crises that are bound to occur at some point?
Well, a lot of clients are very reluctant at the beginning to even have an online presence because they see the negativity and the impact of that on their brand and their business. But with anything, you always have to plan for the worst and have a crisis management plan. So that's part of the communications department or your PR strategy then.
Mm-hmm.
So what we try to do for clients is we try to predict so if you're running a fast food restaurant, if a customer complains about the food being cold or the chefs are not having the proper headgear, or if their order was mixed up, or we try to preempt certain scenarios so that we have a response, and then the social media activists would be briefed on this. And the best practice for online crisis management is to move the conversation offline. So you either set up a feedback at companyx.com where the complaints could be channeled through, or you have a direct line or toll-free number or something that you could direct the customer to. But again, it's really about the person understanding the brand and how you respond to certain things.
So the customer makes a complaint, you direct them in your comments to.
So you never
get it off the page, get it offline.
Yes, you never say the customer is wrong. The customer is always right.
Right.
So you say, I'm sorry that happened. Could you please be more specific, send further details to this email address, and somebody will be in touch with you in 24 hours. But a key thing is the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Because bet your bottom dollar, if you say you will get back to that customer in 24 hours and you don't, it will be a next trail of comments on the page. And deleting the comments is not the way to go. It backfires. I mean, if you have, because there are some social media trolls online, we see it for contests too, that people are just actively online, and if any mistake or slip up, it just goes.
I've had that experience myself actually.
But so I see, it's really, you just need to know how to plan and to not panic and address it, move the conversation offline.
Who are the #1 users of social media in terms of the companies that are on social media in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, the largest fan base right now is Digicel.
Mm-hmm.
They have about 181,000 fans. Second would be Mario's Pizza, which is 135,000, and then third KFC, 115,000. But if you go further, and as I was saying before, the difference between engagement and likes.
Right.
So you have 180, 135, 150. But when you look at the interactions, Digicel has about 4,000, Mario's has about 7,000, and KFC has about 1,300. So even though Digicel has more fans than Mario's engagement rate is higher. And if you look at the theory of social media and what is the best practice on a global scale, or what would be the measurement, the ideal is 6% of your fan base should be engaged.
6%?
6% is the average. When you look at our local stats, Digicel is about 3%, Mario's is about 5%, and KFC is about 2%. So even though we have large fan bases, it's not really transferred into the engagement. So it goes back to your strategy and what do your fans want to know about. I mean, we handle I will be upfront with that. We handle the Mario's Pizzeria account since 2010, and last year we would have gone 100,000 fans at the end of March, April last year, and we gave free pizza to all the fans who downloaded the coupon within a certain time frame that they had to redeem it, which is a huge success. We gave out about a few thousand pizzas on that for that. And going back to the post, so about, I think it was last Monday, we posted it's Monday again, one of those funny cards, and 555 people liked that within an hour.
Wow, that's impressive.
And 531 persons shared it on their profile. So So that was like one of the top posts, and it's just like this baby screwing up his face saying it's Monday again, and you know the Monday blue syndrome.
Yeah, so everybody can relate to.
Right. So you post that first thing on a Monday morning, people log into their Facebook to check as they reach the work or having breakfast or whatever, and instant share. And when you look at other, what we've noticed too is that fans like to post or like what other fans post. So if somebody went for their birthday at a Mario's Pizza, or they're having a family dinner with pizza and they posted, people will tend to like that. And even when we do posts that are not relevant to the brand but relevant to the audience, you get a higher level of engagement than if you just say, well, you know, we have a $20 special today, or y'all should have the family line, it's Friday night, have this. You know, it goes beyond dressing, and then you get your community of, you know, your tribe or your loyalists to keep posting. So that's why we could have about 7,000 plus people on a constant basis posting and liking the status updates and so.
Okay. I think a question of many of these skeptics about Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media platforms is ROI, return on investment. Does engagement or does the use of social media bring a solid return? Can you trace it?
Well,
can
you
track
have to
it?
sort of understand what you mean by ROI. Is ROI transferred to actual hardcore sales? Is it brand loyalty? Is it awareness? Is it word of mouth or what? So if you look at it from the pizza example, if you have a tribe of people who are loyal to Mario's, they will most likely, when they have to buy food, go to Mario's as opposed to Pizza Hut, or go to Mario's as opposed to KFC or Subway or another brand. And that of course will transfer to sales. If you look at it from an advertising perspective now, if you have a press ad or radio ad or TV ad, there's no way to track. Yes, there's the MFO which says your ad is being seen by 100,000 people, but you don't know if those people actually see the ad. The beauty about social media and digital marketing is the analytics part of it. So you can actually know how many people clicked your ad, how many impressions your ad had, how many people saw your post, because Facebook, their insights keep improving on a daily basis, and they have all these complex algorithms and formulas that works out, you know, what will be the engagement ratio. And if you do a Facebook advertising campaign and you log into the back end, you can see how many people clicked on it, the number of impressions, how much money you spent, or where it took you. So it's really about understanding in terms of ROI how you can track. So if you do a campaign and it's purely traditional, meaning press radio, TV, billboard, poster, or whatever, non-digital, you can't really say how many people saw your ad. But if you include a social media or digital aspect to it, you can't tell that, you know, 50,000 people saw it, 5,000 clicked it. You know, certainly you can work out if your advertising dollar has been effective, and then of course track back your sales to know, yes, I saw an uplift because I had a promotion.
So how would you convince somebody who's skeptical about investing in social media to go for it?
Well, it will be, is it relevant again for your brand identity and for your customer base? So we have all these local stats that Facebook gives us. So you get a breakdown of the age profile, gender, or even your interests. Because one of the great things about Facebook advertising is the targeted advertising aspect. So you can target people who are interested in education, interested in healthcare, interested in Grey's Anatomy, for example, or whatever. You can target people who have their location as South or even Tobago, who have a liking, who have university graduates, or, you know, it's different key demographics. So it will be to convince the client that yes, you will be reaching your audience by this.
We talked about the complexity of using digital media and social media and all of that. Does that mean that I, as an entrepreneur, need to go and hire Pepper Advertising or hire another advertising company to manage it for me, or can I do it myself, be the jack of all trades, manage my accounts, manage this, everything? Can I do it?
Well, let me ask you something. If you had a Facebook page, would you let an intern handle your Facebook page?
Probably not.
Exactly.
What advice do you have for business owners who want to get on Facebook or who are actually on social media already?
What I would say is don't feel the need to jump on the Facebook or social media bandwagon. First, you need to take a step back. It's a large investment. It's really poor when you go on and you have 10 likes or 100 likes and there's no engagement. So I would say before you jump and you open a Facebook page or a group or, you know, a presence online, understand your brand. What is your brand's core essence? What is its personality? What is its positioning? Do I really need to be on Facebook? Is it sustainable for me to be on Facebook? What is the strategy behind my online presence in terms of my objectives, what I hope to gain, what I want to say, how am I going to say it, and of course having that crisis management plan, because people would say things and you would have to know how to address it. And then of course the risk factor in, if it's a big brand as compared to a small brand, do you need to outsource it? Can you keep it in-house, or what advice or whatever? And I mean, the internet is such a remarkable place for resources.
Okay, well, we talked a lot about Facebook. Do you have anything that you might want to share about any of the other not so popular platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter to some extent, Instagram, and Pinterest?
Pinterest is very nice for companies that have a lot of albums and photos, so you can have your notice board or photos or whatever. LinkedIn is better for young professionals, so it's like your online resume. And LinkedIn, I think there's now where you can start to advertise or have different groups, and like if you're a student, you have your LinkedIn group, or if you're part of some sort of association, you have that. And it's also where employers would check in to see, if people have endorsed you or recommend you, or just your online resume. Twitter, as I said, has been catching on a lot more in Trinidad, but because it's limited to 160 characters and 140 characters, and you have to constantly be, it's more live or more instant than a Facebook message. So that's another platform to advertise on. But as 75% of the population being online in Trinidad on Facebook it's a big one.
Cloud computing is a better way to run your business. Instead of running your apps yourself, they run on a shared data center. You just plug in, like a utility. This makes it fast to get started and it costs less.